Hi, and welcome to another episode of Monday Motivation brought to you by Dominate Your Day. I started Monday Motivation as a place for leaders to come and get a little extra boost of inspiration. I know what it feels like to be a leader and just need something each week to kind of get you over the edge. In each episode, I'll share a topic to motivate you and empower you. So, in this week of December, this is the first week of December, we're going to be thinking about how you can finish strong. And so my question for you is, what are the questions you're going to ask your team as you prepare for 2024? If you're like me and a lot of my clients, everybody's so busy. We're just trying to get everything in at the last minute, and we're really not taking a moment to pause and reflect. So as we inch closer to the end of the year, it's crucial to ensure that not only you, but your entire team is finishing the year strong. So what we wanted to do is, no matter whatever age group you have, the pain points, we firmly believe that strong communication and focusing on individual strengths can lead to unparalleled growth for you and your team's success. So in today's Monday Motivation, we want to share some important questions you should ask your team to help them think about the most rewarding days they had this year. What were the most successful things they did? And as they look back at 2023, we just want to take a moment and pause, because what happens is, especially those of us that have high executing talents in our CliftonStrengths, and if you're not familiar with CliftonStrengths, you can go to my website and learn about it. You can also go to Gallup.com, CliftonStrengths, and learn about the strengths. But what they do is they help tell you the how of how you get things done. And so I've been using CliftonStrengths, started using it as a leader at Southwest Airlines in the workplace in 2012. And then started my own business 3 years ago using it. And it is so powerful because everybody is so unique. So what we want to do is stop and say, okay, we're at the end of the year. How did everybody do last year? What are some wins we can celebrate? Because what happens is most people have high executing talents in their strengths, which one of those is achiever, and it's one of the top ones across the world. So what do? They keep going on. They keep going to the next thing and the next thing. So I have a lot of clients that have teams with achiever, and I say, guys, let's stop and celebrate. So that's the first question you want to ask your team is, what were your accomplishments in 2023? And how can we celebrate those and recognize those with you? So whatever you want to do, get creative with your team about how you celebrate. I would ask these in your one-on-ones, and then I also ask them as a team. But give them time to think about it when you meet as a team, because you really want to celebrate. There's going to be some personal things that people did, and there's going to be some things that they could only do as a team. So we want to recognize those. Number 2, what challenges did you overcome, and what valuable lessons did you learn from those challenges? I am a big believer in it's okay to test and learn and make mistakes, because you're going to learn from them. If we don't step out and take those risks, we're never going to learn and we're never going to grow. And I always considered myself an entrepreneur within a bigger corporation, because I was always part of building something new and developing something new. And it gave me a lot of energy. For other people, it might not give them energy, and it might not be something that they want to take a risk on. But I always want to help people say, it's okay if you made a mistake or if something happened, as long as you learn from it and you're growing from it. So what challenges did your team overcome, and what valuable lessons did they learn? And you want to hear that as a team, because you want to share, and it's going to help everybody reflect. And then number 3, we know that you probably have organizational goals for 2024. You probably getting them this month if you or you got them in October, November, unless you do them in January. That's fine too. But a lot of times what happens is people get so focused on the organizational goals and then the department goals, and sometimes the personal goals go out the window. And so what we really want to take this moment and ask your team is what goals do you have as a team, and how can you collaborate more effectively to reach those objectives in 2024? Because if they know about it and they're talking about the business part of it, but they're not talking about the relation part of it, that's where we want to spend some time. Right now, we know we're doing a lot of hybrid work, and we're going to be there. Hybrid is here. So how do we manage our relationships and our communication when there's several different channels going on? And how do we make sure that that collaboration is key in achieving our goals? And then number 4, how can you better align your individual strengths? So asking each team member to talk about their strengths and how they will use their strengths to achieve the goals for the organization, whether it's the team or the organization for 2024. And then that makes sure that everyone thrives and performs and can be their best if they know, because they're all going to use a different strength to help them achieve that goal. And remember, we don't want people to be well balanced as an individual. We want them to be well balanced as a team, because you can go further faster, and it's all about teamwork. Okay, so that was number 4. How can you better align your individual strengths with team tasks to ensure everyone thrives and performs at their best? And then the last one is number 5. How do your team members plan to stay motivated? This is my favorite one, particularly during those inevitable times, tough times that come up. So what you're doing is you're kind of, think about it as in a partnership, a marriage, a relationship, where you're agreeing how you're going to handle things in the future when you've had maybe disconnection and fights in the past, arguments, whatever. What you're doing with your team is saying, okay, now this is how we're going to be motivated to help each other in the future when we come across some really stressful times or challenging times, because change is with us all the time. I had a friend years ago once tell me that change is our friend. She was actually a police officer in downtown Dallas and was managing a huge event. And she used that phrase, and I've used it ever since, that change is our friend. It will happen. We will have changes. So how do you keep your team members motivated through change and through those tough times? So that's the last question. So I'm going to repeat them one more time. What was your team's biggest accomplishments in 2024? We want to celebrate those and recognize their contributions. What challenges did your team overcome, and what valuable lessons did they learn? And 3, what goals did your team have does your team have for 2024, and how can you collaborate more effectively to reach those objectives? And then number 4, how can you better align your individual strengths with team tasks to ensure everyone thrives and performs at their best? And 5, how do your team members plan to stay motivated, particularly during those inevitable tough times? So success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. And consistent hard work leads to success. The greatness will come. So just being consistent with your team, coming up with these check-ins, coming up with this just whole device of how you're gonna connect, how you're gonna collaborate, how you're gonna care for one another, how you're gonna get through challenges. And so that is the key. So this has been another episode of Monday Motivation, brought to you by Dominate Your Day. Feel free to follow, like, and subscribe for more inspiring episodes. And if you're ready to take your strengths development to the next level, be sure to check out the Strengths Journal, which is a daily planner. It's a companion guide to the Clifton Strengths. It's the only one, and I got to create it. And it is on Amazon under the Strengths Journal. And you will get to create, once you know your strengths, you'll be able to have daily prompts to help you live in your strengths daily. And then I can also help you. We have some great resources to help you alongside the Clifton Strengths modules, and also with the journal. And then if you're a difference maker and you want to maximize your potential, and you can just reach out to me at danawilliamsco.com, set up a discovery call, and I'd love to connect with you. And together we can help you live in your strengths, dominate your day, and transform your life. And then quickly before we finish, most listeners don't yet follow the podcast. Every additional follower we get helps us to raise the profile of the podcast and bring in more episodes. So if you could do one thing for me today, I would love for you to hit the follow button and get updated whenever we put new content out. And then if you can do a second thing for me, if you could let a friend or family member know about our podcast and get them to sign up, that would be great. So thanks for listening, and tune in next time.